Welcome then to our first game of Nemesis. I have been absolutely chomping at the bit to get this on the table ever since we ordered it about a year and a half ago, and it is finally here, so I am just so excited to actually have a game of it. Here, of course, with Glenn. He is going to be my co-conspirator / potential murderer, depending how the game goes. For anyone who's not heard of it before, Nemesis is if the Alien movie was a board game and with the serial numbers filed off, but it is so much more than that as well. So we are supposed to be crewmates on this ship that's flying through space. It has stopped. We've woken up from cryosleep for unknown reasons. One of our friends is dead on the floor with a big hole in his chest. So obviously now is the time to potentially panic or get off the boat. So, before we can actually pick our characters, which we don't have that much control over anyway, we only get to pick 2 out of the 6 at random, we have first been given 2 secret objectives. A personal one, which is broadly a bit more friendly to your fellow human beings that are playing, and a corporate objective, which is a little bit nastier, shall we say. So throughout the game, these 2 objectives are obviously going to be secret from each other. We can go after either one we like as the game progresses until we encounter our first alien on the board, at which point we have to discard one of them and pin our hopes on the other one that's left over. So, whatever we end up doing, it will be a choice we made. So, what we're going to do is we'll show everyone watching what our objectives are individually. Glenn, if you'd turn your back, thank you very much. So, as for my corporate objective, and as my personal objective. So I'm going to turn my back so you can have a look at yours.
Right, my first objective is this one. And the second objective, I think this one's probably this one.
Right, so knowing what our objectives are now we get to pick from the character draft. So Glenn, you draw the top 2 cards off there that we've shuffled. So you can either be the mechanic or the captain. Which would you prefer to be?
I'll probably say mechanic.
So captain goes back in, and we shuffle that around a bit, and then I will draw 2. Okay, so I will pick these 2. So I could either be the scientist or the scout. Bearing in mind what the objectives are. I am going to go with the scout. Okay then, so we've picked our characters, got our character board, we've got some quest items that we could potentially unlock later if we get the requirements to do it. Action deck just here. The way the game flow will work is we spend these cards either to use the ability on the cards or just to do some of the basic actions here. 2 objectives cards are there. We each start with a weapon. I have a rifle with an ammo of 4. I'll get some cubes on there just to indicate the ammo a bit later. But yes, so we are aboard the ship of Nemesis. We have come out of cryosleep in an emergency procedure. We shouldn't have come out this early. We're all a bit dazed, confused as we come out of it. And one of our friends is lying dead on the floor with a big hole in his chest. How you doing? So, obviously, things have not been going well on the Nemesis, and we both realise now is a good time as any to fill our personal and corporate objectives, deciding what we want to do. So, general objectives though, if we want the ship to survive. There are 3 engines at the back here. We don't know the status of them. There's 2 cards on here, and whichever one's on the top is the current status of them. If we want the ship to survive, we need at least 2 out of those 3 working. We also need to make sure we're actually heading to Earth, which we can do on the bridge there by looking at the coordinates and changing the coordinates if we need to. Escape pods 1 and 2 are on other sides of the ship, but they're currently locked. We could potentially do things during the game to unlock them, but some generic things that unlock them is if the self-destruct activates or if one of us dies. So some very nice, perfectly health and safety liable reasons for opening your escape pods. Also, we can, once we're on turn 8, climb back into hypersleep if we're very, very happy that everything on the ship is running fine, and just sit out the rest of the game where we can't be killed unless the ship detonates while we're sleeping. So, let's see how we get on with this then, shall we? Question. Do you rely on the ship surviving with any of your objectives? Like, is it important for you?
Necessarily.
Okay, so what I'm thinking then is all the really important rooms that we need are on the perimeter. Right, the ones in the middle, not so much. So if we start doing laps around the ship potentially, like then we can really kind of see what we're working with. So with that in mind, most efficient route for doing a lap of the ship would be that way. So if we avoid the engines for now, we'll go through there. If we find like an engine control room or something, we can have a look and see what that's doing. But yeah. So first of all then, we took a tentative step into what is the shower room. I went first and played the card that meant I didn't generate any noise. There was one item in the room, it was a dead silence anyway with the room, we didn't trigger any of the effects, this one just here. And then I did a search action to have a look in the room, and I took myself a red card that I could potentially use later. Now there's nothing left of the room. Glenn, you spent an action to pick up the bod, and then you just moved in, and because we're sharing the room, I'm already in there, you don't generate noise as you step in. So that's our first 2 actions of the round, so another 2 actions. So after the second round, we've stepped into this room here. I led the way. I moved normally, and the room had a danger on it with 2 items in. It is the armory. We can recharge energy weapons in this room. Because it is a danger, however, noise tokens have been placed in every corridor around us. If ever we have 2 noise tokens in a corridor, we trigger an encounter, and that's when a big gribbly's going to try and eat our faces. Yeah, so I didn't feel like I had enough cards left to safely move on to the next room, so I chose to pass. Glenn then moved in, searched once, and because I'd passed it, moved him again, and he searched twice, so he's got 2 red cards in his hand now. So, that is the end of our first turn, because we go back and forth 2 actions at a time until we both pass. We have both passed. So, now at the end of that turn, first off, we move the time track. It is 14 turns left. What this means is, as the time goes along with the rounds, once we come to this point here, cryo chambers are open again. Once we get to this point here, the ship will jump into hyperspace. Whether it's fixed or not, that may mean it detonates. It definitely means the end of the game. What else do we do? Intruder attack. There are no intruders on the board. Fire damage. Again, no intruders on the board or fire. Resolve an event card. Flip the card. Flammable compounds. Place a fire mark in the hibernatorium. If it's already on fire, place one in each neighbouring room. So it's not already on fire, but the hibernatorium, a loose spark has ignited some of the freezing agents in there, some of the chemical compounds that we used to keep us cryogenically suspended. The room is now on fire. So if we were to end our movement in there and around, we would take 1 light wound worth of damage. The bigger concern, though, is that fire spreads with event cards, and if ever we run out of fire tokens to place, which is a total of 8 or 9, the ship will detonate. So that is something we want to be concerned about, but not the worst thing just yet. Okay, and then intruder bag development. So in this bag here are a bunch of tokens which represent various intruder types. So we reveal one and then we'll have a look at what it does. Okay, so let's reach into our bag of nastiness and pull a token. It's a adult. So at the table with that. All players roll for noise in order. If they're in combat with an intruder, they don't perform a noise roll. Okay, so we're going to have to roll for noise. We are surrounded by noise. So unless we both get dead silent, we're probably going to be facing off against an intruder at this point. So, rolling for noise. Oh look, it's 1. So, all these noise tokens go away, and we get ourselves an encounter. Now then, know what that is? That goes back in the bag. Let's find out what our encounter is. It's a creeper. Let's get ourselves a creeper on the board. Slithering out of the engine room comes a creeper. So, this is our first encounter of the game then. A creeper has come out of one of the corridors and is coming in to attack. So, when we trigger an encounter, we look at the back of the token, which is 1. And if we have equal or more than amount of cards left in our hand when we pass or trigger the encounter, it does not attack. I have 1, Glenn has 1, so it does not attack us this turn. Also, this is our first alien we've discovered. We now must discard one of our objective cards. We're not going to show you, watching this, what we're discarding, but neither of us will know either, so let's keep it interesting. So, Creeper does not attack us, and we have only 1 objective card now. We have both secretly discarded one of our objectives. So, going into the next turn then, and first player moves to Glenn. Glenn has elected to shoot the creeper first, and he has missed with his first roll of the shotgun, but you're using his second action to try and attack again. That's a hit. Yep, so because he's got a sawn-off shotgun, it treats 1 point of damage as 2. So 2 points of damage on the creeper. So the way we resolve whether they're actually dead or not is we reveal one of the true attacker cards, and it's this blood symbol at the top here. If we meet or exceed it, I think, then that intruder is dead. So that's 5, the creeper is very much still alive. Okay, so for my first action then, I'm also going to attempt to shoot the creeper, so I'll discard one of the ammo from my rifle that we've got there. So, attempting to hit it. So, quick explanation on the dice. In order to hit, you must match the symbol, or better, of the thing you're trying to hit. So basically anything but a blank is a hit against the creeper. Oh look, it's a blank. Miss. So, let's expend another bit of ammo. Try it again. There we go, that's a hit. So that deals another point of damage to the creeper. We reveal another intruder attack card. 5, it is still not dead. And that's our first 2 actions for this turn. Yep, so you're retreating out. Because you're moving out of a room, out of combat with the encounter, it does get a free attack. So we reveal one of the intruder attack cards. So it does not match the symbol of the creature, so the creeper has missed you as you made your escape. And that's your first one.
Let's move again.
And then stepping over there. Now you've ended your activation in a room with fire, so you do take 1 light wound. So
That's at the end of the turn.
it's end of activations. So grab yourself a light wound. 3 light wounds will get you a heavy wound. 4 were heavy wounds and you're dead. Okay, so that's you done. Well, I'm going to try and kill the thing that was eating our faces. So, in order to do that, I'll spend my adrenaline card, perform a shoot action, and draw an action card. So, draw an action card and perform the shoot action. This is me. We've got to do a noise roll for Glenn when he ran off. Pops noise in corridor 3, which leads down there. And then back to the hibernatorium. 3 again. So, noise goes there. So, resolving my attack against the creeper. Hits, and because it is the 2 hit markers, it deals 2 points of damage, total of 5. Drawing a card, 3, the creeper is dead. The creeper has died, and in its place, we have an intruder carcass token. Okay, so brief summary of that round. Glenn has moved to this room, the creeper missed its attack, placed a noise token. He has moved to the hibernatorium, placed a noise token. I have shot and killed the creeper, and I've spent the scavenging card and 1 extra in order to use it, which has allowed me to search the room even though there's nothing in it, and I have grabbed myself another red card. So, back to Glenn. So, Glenn had planned on using his pyrotechnics card to put out that fire marker, but he needed an extra action card in order to do it, which he didn't have, so that hasn't happened. He's just passed instead, and is sitting on 2 light wounds for standing in a room with fire. I'm going to use my last card to move into this room here. It's broken and there's 2 things in it. It's the emergency room. So in there I can treat my wounds. So your light wounds that you're accruing, that might be a good place to get them if we get it fixed, because it is currently malfunctioning. Malfunctions have a similar thing as fire in that if we run out of ones to place, the ship explodes. It's just broke too much. But we also can't use the room action until we fix the malfunction. Rolling for noise then, because I walked in there normally. Danger, of course. So, putting noise in each of the surrounding corridors of that room. Okay, and I believe that is the turn. So, in order then, move the time track. 13 turns left until the ship tries to jump to hyperspace. Intruder attack, there are no intruders on the board. Fire damage, that's only for intruders at this stage, you've already took yours. Resolve an event card. Nest. If the nest room is explored, place a noise marker in each corridor that's connected to the nest. Do not place a noise marker if one's already present. Well, we don't know where the nest is, so that doesn't actually do anything for us. We haven't discovered the nest yet. Next then, intruder bag development. Let's reach into this bag of nastiness and see what's awaiting. It's an adult. So for an adult, we both roll for noise in player order. So starting with yourself, roll for noise. Chamber 4, there is no noise there. You don't trigger an encounter. And me with noise in either one. I'm really hoping for the dead silence. Nope, I get in corridor 2. There is noise in corridor 2. We trigger an encounter. So, once more into the bag of nastiness. What am I encountering? Ooh, a larvae. Okay. So,
that goes inside you if there's nothing.
Potentially, yes, because I have no cards remaining, actually. Oh, damn. Yeah, so
it just jumps inside.
So a larvae has crawled out of the corridor. Because I'm so tired from fighting off the creeper and exploring the rooms, I've no action cards left. It immediately attacks and infests. That larvae is on my character board now. If I get a second one for any reason, that's me immediately dead and a creeper comes tumbling out of my chest cavity. So kind of want to fix that if we can. So I've got to be very careful as far as larvae are concerned. Hooray. Okay, next turn, player token comes back to me. So also, because the larvae is currently on my character board, I do get a contamination card. So what these are is there's a chance that I might be infected. If I scan this card using this lovely scanner here, I can find out if it's infected or not. And if it isn't, I can get rid of the card. Great. Because it would normally go in my action deck. It's going to gum up the works. I can't spend it on actions. It's just going to be a pain all round. If it's infected, however, I get another larvae, which would kill me at this point. So I'm just going to leave that in there for now. So first round for this turn then, I searched this room twice, once with the search action, one with the scavenging, so reduced the item count to 0 and got myself 2 green cards. Glenn put the fire out in this room, moved to the cabin carefully, so he placed where the noise token went, but the door slammed shut behind him, so that access is currently blocked to the hibernatorium, unless we do something about it later. So, next 2 rounds. I've just stepped into the generator room, caused some noise there, locked the door there. Glenn has searched that room once and got himself a yellow card. Okay, so, rest of step then, move the time track. 12 turns remaining. Intruder attack, no intruders on the board. Fire damage, no intruders to suffer fire damage. Resolve an event card. Oh dear. Evacuation pod ejection. Launch the escape pod token with the lowest number. So escape pod 1 has just randomly ejected into space with neither of us in it. Okay.
You can fit 2 or 3 in a pod.
You can fit 2 in an escape pod. Okay, right. So our options of leaving the ship are now somewhat more limited. Of course, we could try and fix it, but yeah. Yeah, with that knowledge of 1 pod less, it might be an idea to potentially fix the ship somewhat. Just in case we need it, right?
Why, do you need the ship to be alive?
No, I don't. But if there's 1 pod, I kind of don't want to be in a situation where I'm over here and you're scooting away in that pod without me. So please just helps.
I need to be alive at the end of this.
I know, but let's just fix the ship. It might be a good idea. Okay, then we have intruder bag development. What nastiness is coming out this time? It's another adult. We all roll for noise. So, player order, me first. So, rolling for noise. 2, and there's already a noise token in it. We trigger an encounter. It is another it's another larvae.
You got any cards?
I do have a card. I've still got basic repairs. Okay, that might have just saved me from the larvae. Okay, so for the encounter, I have drawn a larvae. It's in the room with me. 1, but I do still have 1 card left in my hand. It doesn't take me by surprise. It doesn't kill me, crucially. Glenn, roll for noise.
I have no cards, so let's take... Ooh.
Danger! High voltage. Okay, so Glenn's rolled himself for danger. Normally that would move the intruder in the next room to him, but it's currently in combat with me, so it doesn't, but it does surround him completely with noise. Hooray! Next turn, have yourself the first player token. And draw for 5.
I get 6. I'm in the cabin.
Ah yes, good point. Yep, so check 1 unexplored room tile and look at its exploration token. So we just have a look at what a room is. Well, I'll say we. Just Glenn gets to have a look at what it is. I don't.
Do I check this one as well?
Yes.
So, this is what I can see.
Let's deal with that larvae in the room, shall we? And I'll do so by playing Adrenaline. Perform a shoot action and draw an action card. So draw an action card. And let's perform a shoot action. Last shot in the rifle. So 5 out of 6 chance to hit it, and if we hit it once, it's dead. No! No, it's still alive!
Already energy charge.
Okay, I have no ammo in my gun left, and I don't have a way of reloading it at the moment. Okay, so I might have to engage it in melee. I'll get contaminated, but if I don't kill it by the end of this turn, I am dead anyway. So I'm gonna have to. So let's get rid of the interruption, and I'm gonna punch it in melee. So I automatically get a contamination card that goes in there. But let's try and kill it, please. There we go. So I punch those larvae to death. Get some nasty stuff on me whilst I do it, but it is dead. I am not, for now. Great. Yep, so brief summary. Glenn searched that room first and then checked to see what this room with one use item, the recon drone, so he knows what that room is, I don't. I failed to shoot the larvae down, but I did punch it to death and picked up a contamination card in the process. You're next too. Okay then, so for these two actions, Glenn has destroyed that door, which means that it cannot be reclosed. It is completely wrecked, but it is currently open, forced open, and then has searched the room again.
No, I used the ammo.
Oh no, you refilled your gun, didn't you? So destroyed a door and then refilled his gun using an ammo charge. I have walked through into here, not generating noise because Glenn was in, searched the room for a green pile, and got myself another item card. Okay, rest of actions. Okay then, so we're both very cautious about all the noise around us. We don't have many cards left, we don't want to trigger another encounter, we are both passing for now. So now we go to the rest of the phase. So time track moves along, 11 turns before the ship jumps. Intruders attack, no intruders alive to attack. Fire damage, no fire. Resolve an event card. Noise in the technical corridors. Place a noise marker in the technical corridor. If there isn't one already there, there is not. So, noise in the technical corridor. Now that links to any red dot linked to a room. And yeah. Nothing else there because we're not in a room with technical corridors. Okay, bag development. What fun stuff awaits us now? Another adult. We all roll for noise in player order. So, roll for noise. Please, silence. Silence, it's golden. It's not. Trigger an encounter. So, we remove all noise surrounding us and we get an encounter. What do we get? We get a larvae. Another larvae pops into the room. We both have cards remaining, however, and it had one, so we're actually A-okay. It does not surprise attackers. The larvae is just sat in the room and does not attack. Great. So, first player token moves back. Next turn. Okay then, so for my turn I'm discarding two cards. First use alcohol because I've got two contamination cards in my hand. I can scan and remove one from my hand. If it was infected I get another one, but it means if it's not infected I get rid of it. If it is infected it doesn't kill me. So let's scan one of those real quick. So, contamination cards. Have a look-see. That is not infected. So, that one goes to the bottom of the contamination cards deck and out of my hand. Hooray! Okay, mechanic is attempting to shoot the larvae. That's a hit, the larvae is dead. Blech. Away goes the larvae. Round for this one then. I did some trickery with my cards to get rid of one of my contaminations after scanning it and it was clean. And then I used some military drugs to get some more cards. Glenn has moved into that room, the door locked automatically behind him and put the noise behind him.
And I got rid of the card that can open the door.
Okay, so getting rid of my suppressive fire card to walk normally into this room. So, what have we got? The canteen. Have a snack.
On the break.
One item in the room and it is malfunctioning. I've moved normally, so roll for noise. 3. Noise in corridor 3. Oh, where I wanted to go. Great. And that's 1. And then I will get rid of one of my search actions to have a look for that one item that's in there, and we'll get some green cards. Oh, what marvellous choices. So, well, I mean, it makes sense for where I am, I suppose, but, right, yours.
And then instantly use Nemesis points.
Okay.
And I'll get rid of this. I can look at 2 rooms, but not the actual number tokens.
Okay, so unexplored room tiles, but without the exploration. Okay, so this allows you to look at the big one, but not the little ones.
So I think I'll go with these 2 down here. So this one first.
So obviously I don't know what you're looking at.
Which is this. Another card, similar one. And the second one is... Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so 2 exciting rooms down there that I don't know what they are. Hooray!
Let me tell you.
If you're feeling generous.
Evacuation.
Which one, A or B?
Doesn't matter. Evacuation.
It does, because evacuation A has no escape pods.
Well, I'm just saying, they're both evacuations, I can't remember which one's which. And that one's storage.
Okay. Just looked at it, but can't remember which. Okay. And that one's the storage room, alright. Okay then, so Glenn has realised he's in the room that he needs to be as part of his objective. I've picked up a green card from the canteen and moved through, the door shut behind me as I find myself in the nest.
And this is where the Queen comes down.
This is where I get a visit from the Queen, isn't it? Okay. Is she going to give me an MBE or going to eat my face? Let's find out. So, move the time track. 10 turns remaining. Intruder attacks, no intruders currently. Fire damage, no fire. Resolve an event card. Oh dear. Each character with a larvae on their character board dies. Place a creeper in their room. Every character draw a force card from their deck and scans all contamination cards if they have at least one infected card. Put a larva on that. You have no contamination, do you? But I have larvae. I'm dead.
And I have an alien to fight.
So, as the door shuts behind me, as I find myself in the nest surrounded by xenomorph life, I feel a churning in my chest, something that is not natural, that should not be, until it bursts apart and out crawls a creeper. My last sights before I die are my unintended child screaming for, hunting for my friend on the ship. I am dead. So, there is a character corpse token, and away I go. So I've lost, but will you win? Let's find out. So because the crew member died, the remaining escape pod has unlocked. You need to get yourself to evacuation center B. It's highly unlikely you will survive the ship on your own. I'm trying to fix it. You can if you want, but...
No, I need the ship to be destroyed.
Oh, you need the ship to be destroyed?
Or kill the Queen.
Okay, right, so
it's either hope for the best...
Yeah. Because when's that ever worked?
Well, there's no noise.
Around you, yeah.
There is. There's noise there. So there is a chance.
Okay, so send the signal and the ship is destroyed, or kill the Queen and the ship is destroyed.
Yeah.
So you've sent the signal, so now you need to survive the ship blowing up, presumably in the one remaining escape pod that's now unlocked.
So I try and risk it because there's going to be an alien through the door.
I think you just need to book it to the evacuation centre, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to book it to the evacuation. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't playing with me when you said you couldn't remember which evacuation centre was which.
I opened the door.
Okay, so is that open or destroy?
Open.
Open. So you've opened the door.
And then I will carefully tiptoe across here.
Yep.
Noise token here, I don't care about that. And speed done.
Okay. So, well, you just do all your actions, mate. It's not like I've got actions to do. Okay, so your actions are done. So, turn track moves down. 9 turns remaining to evacuate the ship. Presumably, you need 2 of these engines broke as well, by the way, if you want it to destroy, or the coordinates to be off.
Or generator.
Or, good point, the generator is right there.
Noise in there.
Good point. Okay, so time track's moved along. Intruders. So intruder does not attack because there's nobody in the room with him. Fire doesn't hurt him. Resolve an event card. Malfunction. Place a malfunction marker in the explored room with the lowest room number. Now shuffle this card back into the events deck. So that goes back into the event deck somewhere. Also, the creeper does not move. Its symbol is not on there. So the comms room is broken thanks to the event, and the creeper does not move. Through the bank development. Yep. It's an adult. Roll for noise. So noise in 4 and 1. Oh, you get yourself an encounter. Away they go. Away goes noise, and out comes bomb. Bomb. Bomb.
Just kill them.
The disturbances in the nest has piqued the Queen's interest. She has come to see what is scuttling around the ship and finds you. So the Queen, of course, has initiative of 4. You have no cards left. The Queen does attack. Queen attacks. Hits. It's a bite. If the character has 2 serious wounds, they die. If not, they suffer a serious wound. Grab yourself a serious wound. Have a look what it is.
Hand. I can only carry one
The
left.
cost of all your actions is increased by 1. Is it item actions specifically? Yeah. Okay, so the Queen appears and tries to gnaw your hand off. Great. Next turn.
I am going to start a fire.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so starting a fire in that room. Yeah,
And
that's action 1.
I'm going to run.
Okay, so you're walking out the room normally? Yep, so the Queen makes an attack as you try to leave. She hits, it's another bite. You don't have 2 serious wounds, you have 1, you get another serious wound.
Body.
You draw up to 4 action cards instead of 5.
Yep, so now my hand goes down.
2 more serious wounds and you're dead, you're 50% health. And you got 2 light wounds, remember.
Well, I need to roll for noise.
Roll for noise as you make your escape attempt.
1.
1.
One's kind of go.
That one where you came there. Noise there. You escape to the Hypnotorium. Don't forget, like, you're not certain the ship will be destroyed
I
yet.
will quietly go into the room.
This one?
Yep.
Okay, so moving cautiously into this room. It is airlock control. Start emergency decompression. And it is broken with 4 items in it. And you move quietly to there. Where's the noise going? Into corridor 1. Okay, so passing. So turn track decreases by 1. Intruder attack. The Queen's not currently in the room. There is fire damage, however. She suffers a point of damage from the fire. Resolve an event card.
Please spread fire.
Hatching. Discard 1 egg from the intruder board. Any characters in the nest room whose players have no action cards left are infested by a larvae. If no character is infested, place a larvae in the intruder bag. So we discard 1 of the eggs, it is hatched, and another larvae goes in the intruder bag. And also the creeper would have moved with the last one, it would have moved down corridor 1, it would be in the bridge. And neither of them moved for this one. Okay, bag development. We grab ourselves a blank. Add 1 adult intruder token to the bag, yeah, then nothing else happens. So, we get another adult intruder going into the bag, but don't roll for noise or anything.
I'm going to fast repair, so I can actually use that room if needed.
Okay, so he has fixed the airlock control, so if he uses that, you can activate the airlock in any yellow room, and if whatever's in it doesn't escape by the turn, they die.
Are there any items in here?
There are 4 items.
Go to search.
Search in the room. Increased by 1.
Mechanic, that's usually quite good. Use demolitions.
Yep.
And close to get rid of a serious wound.
Okay.
Get rid of body because.
Oh, so hang on. So there's that dress, a serious wound.
Yes.
Yes, so you flip it over. You don't suffer the negative effect of the dressed serious wound, but it still counts towards your minus health points. Okay, so you've fixed the airlock control and you've used some clothes to dress your body serious wound so you can draw 5 cards instead of 4 next turn.
I will pass.
Passing. Okay, so passing the turn. Turn moves along. 7 turns remaining. Intruder damage. They're not in any rooms to attack. Fire damage. Queen takes another point for the fire damage. Get one of these out.
Is she on fire?
We should be drawing intruder attack cards to see if she dies from it, but I know for a fact she will not die from 2. Actually, no, we do need to do it in case she runs away to a different room, actually, yeah.
Well.
So 4, 6, yeah, so of course the Queen does not die. She has 2 injuries on her from the fire, though. Resolve an event card. Egg protection. Resolve an encounter for any character who's in the nest or carrying an intruder egg.
She does move this.
She does move up to room 2.
Anyone else? Nurse thingy.
So she has moved out of the room with fire in it. Okay, bag development. Nothing but fun times and good news for you. We get a larvae. So when you develop a larvae, you remove it from the bag and add an adult token. Adult goes in. More larvae are evolving. Right, back to you.
I'm going to computer skills close the door.
Okay.
Here.
So closing the door with your computer skills.
I'm going to search twice.
Searching the room twice.
Mechanic. No, I'm going to walk.
Okay, walking into this room. So, walking normally into this room is evacuation centre B. That is the one with the escape pod, but it is currently broken. It is broken, and there are 2 items in it. Roll for noise. 4 into corridor 4 to engine 2.
I am going to repair.
Okay, so you're repairing the evacuation centre. Yep, so it is now functioning. Is that you done for the turn? Passing? Passing. Turn moves along. 6 turns remaining. Intruder attacks, they're not in a room with anybody. Fire damage, they're not in the room with fire. Resolve the event card. Scent of prey. Place a noise marker in every corridor connected to a room containing a character with a slime marker. You are not slimed, that does not happen to you. The creeper moves down corridor 3. So moves to that room there. Okay, bank development. It is an adult. Roll for noise. 2. There is not noise in corridor 2. You're okay.
Yeah, I'll try to activate the escape pod.
Okay, so attempting to activate the escape pod. So, there is an escape pod, it is unlocked, it has space. You make a noise roll. If an intruder appears, your attempt fails. So, attempting to get in, roll noise. You need 1 or dead silence. Dead silence!
He's in the pod.
You're in the pod! The engineer.
I'm going to set a fire on the way out.
Okay, yeah, we'll change the order. We'll say you put a bit of fire in before you climbed in. But yes, you have climbed into the escape pod. Great. And you can leave at any point then.
I leave.
So, the mechanic has abandoned ship in the 1 remaining escape pod. So, nobody's on the board. Turn track runs out. So, let's see what happens. So, Engines. Are they working? Engine 1 is not. Engine 2 is. Engine 3 is. The ship is currently flying. We're currently on B. Where are we flying to?
Venus.
Deep space. Okay then. So 2 engines are working. The ship is flying off into deep space. But that does not destroy the ship. That does not kill the intruders. So your specific objective card, if I can have a look at it, is it that one? It's this one here. Send the signal and the ship must be destroyed. Send the signal and the queen must be killed. So the queen is not killed. The ship is not destroyed. You have escaped the Nemesis, but your mission is incomplete. The queen is at large. The ship is still existing somewhere in the galaxy.
I could always come back at some point and make sure.
You could always come back to make sure later. But for now, the Nemesis floats into deep space, a ticking time bomb, waiting to be rediscovered and reinfect.
At least I'm alive.
At least you are alive. I can't say the same for me. Fun fact, my objective that I discarded was to kill you.
Yeah.
The objective that I kept was to finish the game in an escape pod, and I must have at least 7 items.
Well, mine was check 2 weaknesses.
The one you discarded was check 2 weaknesses. So I did have the option to kill you. I didn't want to do that. I thought we might be better hanging around as a group. Didn't work out well for me. I nearly had enough items, but I had to burn some to stay alive. But yeah, Scout died, Engineer survived, but nobody won.
Key and the spacesuit. So you just jump across.
Yeah. Well, that is the way Nemesis goes. Even though one of us survived, neither of us won the game. But very, very good first game regardless. Thoroughly enjoy it. Thoughts?
I enjoy it.
Yeah? Work out alright?
Yeah, I think I fluffed up when I ran into the fire without thinking at the end of the turn and then was like, I don't have a way of putting it out.
Yeah, I just had a really big stretch of bad luck with the larvae. Like, obviously it's just the eclosion card that killed me. If I could have found the surgery, then I would have been fine, but... well, at least we didn't murder each other this time. But, yes. Hopefully then, this has been very enjoyable to watch. We definitely plan on making more at some point in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in another one.